Welcome to Late Night with Linda Rosa, where we get down to the arts of the matter. My darlings, mis queridos, welcome y bienvenidos to Late Night with Linda Rosa, getting down to the art of the matter. Welcome! I'm just so grateful. I know I say it all the time, but I really am. It doesn't matter how many people listen. I'm happy you're here. Later on, we're going to bring in my girl Evie, who's here as my guest co-host. Hello! We're going to say hi to her and talk and chit-chat and all that good stuff. How are you guys doing? But I hope everyone is well and healthy and safe. I hope a lot of you are working now or in the process too, or creating, being innovators, creators, and I just hope the best for all of you. I hope everyone's doing really well. If anyone is still not well and you're in the hospital, you're still dealing with the pandemic, I do send you my love, especially during the holiday season. I can't express how much I pray for pretty much everybody, but we'll keep you in our prayers, and I hope that you all are getting better. Keep hope. If you're listening, kick back, chill. Let this be a late night cab. Come vibe with me, hang with me, laugh with me and Evie and all that good stuff. But today's topic is pretty much relative to what I was just talking about, but deeper. And it's about the art of knowing when it's time to take a break. Whether it's in love, life, work, anything. I think we, especially me, have an issue knowing when it's time to take a break. I think a lot of us, especially, in competitive industries, we're so used to hustling and doing. And in life, we're people pleasers. Not all of us, a lot of us are people pleasers, or we always need to feel like needed, or like you're accomplishing things. And sometimes we just kind of keep going, and then you don't realize that you need to either slow down and take a break. And next thing you know, something happens, whether it's life, love, work, shit happens. And it's because I think we just don't know when it's time to just disconnect. And the importance of knowing when to disconnect and the benefits of disconnecting. And sometimes when we're a little too lax and and I think some people take too many breaks, or they get really, but everybody's different. I can't really say that. Everybody deals with anxieties and stresses differently. So I can't sit here and judge, because everybody's different. But I think everybody has had a struggle at some point where they didn't know when it was time to just let something go, or just take a break and come back. I think we get so clouded with whatever vision we have that we kind of just black everything out. Or we're just afraid. We're just afraid to stop. We're afraid to let go. We're afraid to cut something. We're afraid the comfortability of constantly being on a go. I think that also plays a part in us understanding when it's time to take a break. And you know what I learned, and I know, and I don't want to be repetitive, but one of the things that I learned to take a break during this pandemic, you didn't realize how important it is to have some time off. The importance of enjoying other people's company, the importance of simply not doing anything sometimes and just letting yourself be. You don't realize it until you kind of just had to. And also taking a break gives you time to kind of get to know you, or the parts that you've kind of neglected or ignored because you're so busy being busy. You're so busy in whatever it is because think about it. Sometimes we get so caught up in our life and work and stuff like that we kind of let life pass by. 5 years go by and you're like, what the fuck? Your bank account looked nice, or whatever. You accomplished this and that, or you did this and that. But where are you here? So those are some of the things that I take into account. And I'm somebody who has acknowledged that I've had to take a break. And 2, I've been told you need to take a break. I've been in both positions. So I can tell y'all the importance of understanding that. But I also think that understanding the importance of taking a break also means the understanding yourself. So yeah, that's the topic of the week, and I wanted to get into that. But I wanted to bring in my girl Evie because I feel like you about to give me some knowledge. She was listening to me heavy. I felt it. I felt it in my neck. What's up, girl?
Hi.
How you doing, boo?
Good. Happy to be here.
Good. Working on projects and things. What you got going on right these days?
I really am just working on myself, working on my craft, working on my art. You know, there's always room for improvement. I think it's just one of those things that when you start doing things so heavy, speaking of taking a break, and you don't give yourself time to refresh, especially as a creative, you start losing that. You start losing that love for the art. You start losing that flow, that juice, that inspiration, and it starts to become this mundane thing, this job, if you will. So I'm right now, I'm just kind of taking it easy, working on myself, working on my, like I said, my craft, watching what I can, inspiration in other people, and taking it easy.
Yeah. Do you think some people are afraid to take a break?
I think that taking a break to some people means that they have to give up a part of them. So if you've been working, especially if you're like one of those people that's a perfectionist, if you've been working on something, on a project, you have a particular process and you have a particular way, you almost feel like no one can do that. No one is capable for some reason
Fear of missing out.
of finishing that job to your standards. So people almost don't take a break because it's not going to be done right.
It's a trust thing too.
Yeah, you know, especially like
and letting
a
go.
business owner, they don't want to leave their baby that they've been working so hard on into somebody else's hands. They want to make sure, you know, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But I think myself, I'm very in tune with my energy, and I'm very in tune. And it took a lot, you know. I'm 30 years old now, so it's just, it took me a lot, a long time to fine tune that, and I'm in tune with my energy so much so that I feel the drainage. I feel that the spark is gone. My skin even changes, and like, you know, my hair changes, and it feels like my body just starts to shut down, and I'm like, I need a break. So that's definitely one of those things that I've never really had a hard time doing, but I have been in the position where I feel like I'm gonna go to sleep after I'm done with this, and it's like 4 a.m. So you gotta know when to be like, all right, the difference between being a hard worker and knowing when to say this is good enough.
It took me a while to learn it, and I think, like you said, being spiritually in tune matters. I mean, was I always into my energy and things like that? Nah. Because it comes, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff that I talk about, y'all, I swear to God, it comes with maturity. I'm not saying that only adults.
And a lot of people have to live through it.
Yeah, you gotta go through shit.
Before you can definitely be like,
like, I need it. Right. And I'm telling you, I remember, because obviously before I knew when I needed a break, I remember being told when I needed it. And I'm not gonna lie, when someone first told me that, I was insulted. I was like, excuse me? Like, fuck you mean I need a break? Bitch, you need a break. You know, I came at them like that. But then you realize why they're saying it. Because you don't have that grasp that you used to have. You don't have, and then when I mean a grasp on yourself, your energy, how you come off, how what you're doing is prepared, done. Like, you are not where you usually are. And the moment other people start to notice it, that's when you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. Somebody telling you, that's it, you've done enough. But you can usually hear it when it's somebody that genuinely is like,
that's what I'm saying.
Lost you.
Yeah.
And somebody that's just like, doesn't want the competition. Like, you need a break. But,
so but that's a good one. You got to look at the person that's giving you these words, like,
you need a break.
Yeah. Because
I need a break.
Yeah. Like, because like, yo, have you ever met someone that they see you work hard, but they're mad you work harder? They don't work hard, but they see that you work hard. So now you making them look crazy because they don't do what you do. So now they're talking about, yo, you doing this too much, you da 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 da, when in reality you're not. You're doing what you do. It's just that you have to, I think when you're in tune with yourself, I know it's not part of the topic per se, but when you're in tune with yourself, I think you become more in tune with other people. You're able to read others. I'm not saying that everyone's like you. I'm just saying understanding yourself and being spiritual and all of that allows you to be open spiritually enough where you can understand somebody's energy, especially if you know somebody. Like the person that did something, I'm never gonna forget. The person that mentioned it to me is someone that loves me dearly. But even though I was caught off guard, you know. But when I took a few minutes, I realized this person knows me for dumbass long. They obviously seeing something I'm not, because I'm just too caught up in being a hustler. Like I'm a worker, you know. And sometimes I'm so focused on getting the bag that,
and sometimes I feel like you unintentionally or unconsciously spread yourself too thin.
Yes, I do.
When you do that, you know, you start to burn other bridges, like relationships at home, you know, whether they be romantic or just friends, and your family relationships, you start to become absent. So then you start to have to choose between participating in your life or just being in your life. And participating is way more important 9 times out of 10 than just existing.
Exactly.
And taking that break to be able to just reconvene, you know, recenter, will allow you to be the best version of yourself 24/7. So, you know, you go to work, you know, you take care of home, you take care of you take care of the people around you. You also work on your projects, you work on
it's a
whatever.
Balance. It's a balance.
You keep that balance, you start to juggle a few things and you're good, and then you take on another one, and then you start dropping one, because you can't do all of them at once. And that's when you need to.
Yeah, and that's understanding. We have to understand, y'all, that we can't do everything. We're not fucking heroes. We can't save the whole world. I'm not saying you can't make a difference. I'm saying you can't be everything for everybody all the time. It's like the people that, you know, you can't be giving out these water until your water well run dry. And think about it. You not taking care of you is actually a disservice to the people you want to help. Because when you're not taking care of you, what the fuck is going to happen to the people? And I'm not saying you got to live for the people. Don't misunderstand me and think that I'm saying you got to take care of you, because then you can't hustle and no, it's a balance, guys, because and I learned that. I'm telling y'all about my imperfections, because I'm not saying I'm perfect now, but I'm trying to show y'all the journey of someone who embraces their faults and imperfection and understand that we all go through shit. And there was a point in time where I was comfortable in being busy and not taking a break. Yeah. And I mean, and being busy and running was a form for me to distract whatever I had going on that I didn't want to think about. Work was like my drug, in a sense. It was like hustle is my drug.
So taking a break from it meant that you would have to face the other things.
Right. Which, you know, and again, everybody deals with things differently, you know, but that was kind of like my that was kind of like my escape. Always being busy, working. I mean, I'm a work, you know.
Yeah, my breaks before this was like, it's Sunday, you're not answering nobody's calls. You're gonna just stay home and chill. Or it would be like, hey, you know, on this day I'm not gonna, because social media kills me. So this day you're not doing no social media, and that's me taking a break. Or even, you know, in a relationship, you don't need to break up, but you know what? Today I'm gonna go hang out with my girls. Yes. And I'm gonna see you later, and that's like a healthy break, because you need to.
Girl. For me, learning myself is what helped me.
Yeah. You became really in tune.
Yeah, I understood like things. I understand like things that bother me enough where it'll have a reaction. I understand how I can be when I'm overdone.
Yeah.
I see it.
So if I prematurely told you, listen, you need a break, you were comfortable enough to be like, not yet.
Yeah, like I'm cool. Yeah,
like, I know, I see it. It's coming. You're
yeah,
right,
and I've had
yet.
that. But believe it or not, so not recently. It was like months ago. I had a moment where I had just anxiety, like, you know, and it was just because I felt like it was just too much happening at one time, and I felt overwhelmed, and I felt myself about to be like, leave me the fuck alone, everybody.
Yeah.
You know? And I felt it. I felt it right here. And I told the person that was by me, because that person didn't deserve anything of what I was feeling. It was me overdoing too much. And I was like, yo, I'm not trying to be mean, but let me rock by myself for a minute. Because I know me. And when I understanding myself, I knew that by me taking a simple like 5 minutes to myself, literally just I'm not even angry. I just know where I'm at. And I need, I need a minute to myself. Let me rock. When you see me by myself, kind of just chilling, and I don't even look mad. I'm just like chilling. It's probably just me trying to and I'm not really, and then sometimes I'm not even going through anything. It's just I see it. I see what's like you when you become really in tune with yourself, you can feel that that's what you mentioned earlier. You can feel that shit coming. And I told the person, yo, give me a minute. I'll meet you outside in about 5 minutes. And then I didn't do anything but sit there and like just
breathe.
So how do you know when you need a break? When you feel to the point where you're going to break, or where you're going to have a reaction, or you're going to lash out, or you're going to come at somebody wrong, or when you feel like you're
out of character.
Yeah, when you feel like something that not normally you is about to come out, that's when you know you need to release. It's the same thing with family. Sometimes it's not even like in a mean way, like you hate them. It's more of like, yo, you're overdoing it. You need a break. Like your family, you ain't the only family member in your family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't solve everybody's shit. So it's the same thing. It's a simple way to look at it. You can't do everything for everybody. You can't be everything for everybody.
Sometimes you have to say no.
Sometimes you have to say no because you're gonna break. You need to leave a little bit for yourself. Don't you still want to be successful? Don't you still want to do great things for yourself? Don't you still want to enjoy the blessings of life, whichever religion? Don't you still want to be able to have some memories when you go down? You know, don't you want to be able to say, yeah, I made fucking money and I got a name and I got my respect, but those conversations by fire, the funny moments, things like that.
And even the most successful people, like you'll see them, I mean, this is on another level. This is out of my tax bracket, but they'll get on their boat and they'll go out to the water,
and they chilling,
and they're successful, and there's a lot of money riding on what decisions they make, but they're like, I need a break.
Beyonce, you notice how like she be going hard as
for like
shit
2 months, and then
she's like in France and she's traveling and she's chilling. You have to take a break. So it's a simple conversation. It just, guys, it's okay to take a break. You're not letting go. Evie made a very good point. I think people are fearful of taking a break because they feel like they're leaving something, but you're not. And if you're as amazing as I think that you are, if you were to take a break and step out, I'm pretty sure everybody would be set before you go. But the moment you go on vacation, even 1, 2, 3 days, you'll be like, whatever I'm coming back to, I got it. But when you're overwhelmed, everything seems fucking impossible. And it's happened to me too. I've literally had moments where I'm like, and you just gotta disconnect, and it's okay, y'all. It's okay to be like, I can't do everything. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to understand that you gotta let go. Everybody does it. We just want you to be healthy, and it's not just about physical, it's mental. Because I think right now more than ever,
keep a strong
mindset and understand that although you're having a bad day, you're gonna wake up tomorrow. You have to have hope that you will. And even if you wake up and you're feeling burnt out, understand that you still woke up. And there's hundreds of thousands of people who don't have that blessing. And I'm not saying that you don't deserve it. I'm just saying, before you sink low into your shirt and get into your moment because you're about to break down. Just understand that somebody out there is pushing for you because they didn't make it. Regardless of religion, people are pushing for you because they didn't make it. I low-key feel like we have a responsibility to do something with ourselves because we're survivors, all of us. Whoever is here right now, you're a survivor. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, I don't know, I know I'm getting emotional, but I feel like there's a responsibility for us to live on purpose.
Yeah.
You know, because...
And the only way to do that is to know when to take a break.
To know when to take a break. Because you don't want, because the thing is, you want to be able to do your best at everything that you do. That doesn't mean that you got to be the best at everything at the same time. Right? And yeah, that's all I could tell you. And believe me, you'll feel the difference. My life changed when I decided to take a break by myself on a beach for a week by myself. Something told me, I felt it in my heart. It told me, something told me, the opportunity came and I took it, and we here right now on the podcast. Like I'm telling you, sometimes all you need is to disconnect. It's like a cell phone. It's like a cell phone. You know when your phones to keep fucking up, turning off, and you're like, what the fuck is wrong? You're like, is it the battery? Is it the phone? I need to upgrade. And then you call the service, and what do they tell you to do? Turn it off. Wait 30 seconds. Refresh. And next thing you know, it works just like new. Same fucking concept. Turn yourself the fuck off. And I'll end it right there. Turn yourself off a little bit and recharge the battery. Because, I think all of us got a little broken in us. But I still think we all got a little light in us. My darlings, mis queridos, welcome back. And now we're at the artist portion of the segment, and I have an amazing person with me tonight. I've known her since high school.
Yeah.
I've seen you make so many changes because I know at one point you were working, I'm going to say like in an office, corporate America type of deal, and then you went your artistic route. That is exactly why I wanted you on the show, because I'm like, I know that there's women right now who have followed a specific path, and then things happen in their life that changes course.
First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity. Went through a period of serious depression, of like just not wanting to do anything. And I would literally like be going into work, putting on a face like everything is okay, I'm serving people, I'm doing good work, and come home and just be like crying nonstop. And that was for like months that was happening, just in my depression, no confidence, like all these things that I was just going through. And I guess in my depression, I was also intentional in allowing myself to go through that. It's like, it sucked, but I didn't want to skip over it. I felt like God was telling me, like, you got this, you have to go through this because I need you to lean on me in a way that you never leaned on me before. And so I kind of restored my faith. But as this restoration was coming in my faith, I went back into the church that I go to now, and it's a big church. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not used to this. I grew up in a small church, but they had a drama presentation one Sunday, and it just hit me. I was like, oh, I need to be a part of this, because growing up in my church, I was always involved in drama. Always in dance and things like that. And so that's what sparked me getting back into being creative again. And, doing different things in church, different theater productions. And then last year, I took a leap of faith. One of my friends from the drama ministry told me, like, you need to audition. You're a great actress. You should audition for this play. I was like, I don't know, whatever. But I auditioned and I got in, and I was like, wait, oh, wow, this is really happening. At the same time, I started to get interested again in modeling. And I had did a couple shows in college, nothing major. So then it was just like everything just started happening very quickly. I was in a bunch of different productions. I've done a lot of theater things. I've done some modeling things. And throughout it all, I'm learning about myself and building up my confidence. I know who I am. And that is like, I feel like there's no person that can tell you who you are or whatever. Like, you just have to go through your process, whatever your process is. As much as those years and that time hurt, I would not take that back in a way that I don't think I would be who I am today if I didn't go through that. I feel like I would still be living the way somebody else wanted me to live and be who somebody else wanted me to be. And so now it's like I have control of my narrative. I have control over how I want to be portrayed. I have control over
your legacy.
Yeah, the types of roles I want to take or not. Like, because that's another thing about this industry is like, you can get corn, you look a certain way, you got some curves, you got some butt, you got some this, they want to corn you into certain types of roles.
In a box.
Nah, I'm good. Like,
I mean, not today.
Yeah. So, taking all of that with the whole thing of stay ready came from literally having to stay ready. Cause like at any point, opportunity pops up, and that happened. That's pretty much how last year went for me. It's like opportunities were just popping up, and I was like, oh shoot, like it was like no time to guess about it. It was like, you got to be in New York by this weekend to do this, whatever. You got to be here to do that. And it was like, I literally had to stay ready. And so that's how that whole mantra came of stay ready. And then, you know, eventually it turned into what is Stay Ready Movement, which is my business.
Which, congratulations, by the way. And I think that's a really good idea. And I literally can't wait to get into it. I'm serious. And I want a t-shirt.
Yeah, of course.
So I need to go online and get me a t-shirt. So you said something that really, it made me think of something. So you kept saying things started happening for you at a point where I feel like you didn't even have a chance to be afraid.
Yeah.
You didn't have time to fear it because it just kept coming your way. And I feel like your faith is so strong that correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably looked at it like, God is putting me here, so I don't have time to be scared. He saw me through this. He's going to see me through this too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And so other than the fact that you constantly had to stay ready, can you explain the purpose of this movement? Because I went to the page and I looked at it. By the way, I love your content. I love the look of it. I like that it's consistent.
Thank you.
But I noticed that it's not just about, like, you don't just promote the phrase stay ready. You elaborate on how to stay ready. So you had steps. As a woman of color, how do you think that we can benefit from listening or watching your content?
I think we're at a critical stage in history, really, for women, for people of color. And I think that the message I'm trying to put out is one of really, it's about working on yourself so that, you know, people say stay ready so you don't have to get ready, but like, what does that even mean, really, right? In order to stay ready, I need to first and foremost be okay with who I am, where I'm at this particular stage in my life, and be aware of the things that I need to work on. Because I think sometimes we think like staying ready is about like being perfect, like, oh, I need to have all my ducks in a row. It's not necessarily that all the ducks have to be in a row, but the ducks that are straight, you gotta know where they at. So you need to go and go get them. Like, you can grab them, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about having everything perfect, but it's about being aware of those things that are and are not, and who you are and who you are not, so that you can deliver in whatever it is that you do. Whether it for me, this arose out of being a creative, but it could be literally, you can apply this to anything. It can be applied to your career, your family life, your spiritual life. Like, what are the things that motivate you? What are the things that you need to do to stay motivated so that you can deliver the best you? And the best you is a work in progress. And that's really what I'm trying to get at, is that it's not always perfect. Like, it's consistent work.
The reason why I love the fact that you're elaborating is I think when people say stay ready, they think that they got to be perfect consistently, that they got to be no, that's not what it means, y'all. Stay ready means you have to consistently work on yourself. So no matter what comes your way, and that's what you mean by apply it anywhere, no matter what comes your way, you're ready for it. And I think that your life is literally an example of that. What other challenges have you faced as an actress, as a model, and trying to start a new business?
Yeah, I think one is that confidence piece that we kind of touched on. And I want to stress that because I feel like many times, especially as women and in this social media age, like we look at other women on social media, we look at how glamorous they are, how beautiful they look, or well put together. But I guarantee you behind that picture or that video or that snap, there is a story of how that woman got to that point. And usually it required a lot of work. And so for me, some of the challenges I had to overcome was getting over my insecurities, whether they were insecurities I had from being a child, from going through divorce, just things that I like put on myself or whatever it might be. Working through those insecurities really helped me to build my confidence and then in turn be able to deliver as an actress and deliver as a model. You know, sometimes it's challenging, especially with the modeling. I would say like fashion shows, I'm usually the oldest person or one of the older folks there. A lot of time, I don't think people really realize a lot of times these like runway models, they're very young, like very young, 16, 15, you know, they're
That
like,
be intimidating?
I don't know if it's as intimidating as it is for me. I think it's more so annoying because then it's like in my mind, I'm like, what am I doing here with these young kids?
Yeah.
It was just different, which is, you know, I love modeling, but I prefer acting. I would take acting over modeling any day, because with acting, you interact with so many different types of people, all different ages, sexual orientations, all of that. And so it's great.
Okay. How you feel about women empowerment and what does women empowerment mean to you?
I'm very intentional with supporting other women in different ways. So whether it be purchasing a product, if I know some, you know, I have a friend who has a product out, I want to be one of those first people that is supporting you with your product. Like I want to empower you in that way. But also, like I said before, those encouraging words, I think it goes a long way, especially as women. I feel like we get judged on so many things from so many people. People always want to be up in our face, what our face looks like or doesn't look like, what our hair looks like or doesn't look like, how we're dressed or not. And it's like, yo, can I live? And so I love to empower women to, again, take control of their own narrative. So when I see somebody like living in their truth and I know that this person is living in their truth, I'm like, yes, come on, and just encouraging them. Supporting my friends who are also actors and actresses is very important to me. You know, showing up to their shows. As a model, you know, we just, when we're backstage, there's a lot of encouragement that goes on, telling people, you know, you look good, girl, and like being genuine about it and not being like,
meaning it.
yeah, not being haters or anything. And that's one thing I will say, I have not experienced like at a fashion shows, nobody's ever been like cruel or anything like that. Especially
That's good. Yeah.
because the fashion industry is changing. You know, there are more plus size models. There's more models who are not, you know, 5'10" or 5'11". They're a little bit short.
Cammie Crawford from Catfish.
Yes.
I love her. And she's, you know, taller, a little bigger, but she's gorgeous and she holds her own. I love that. I love that about her. How do you deal with competition?
I think that it's knowing that there is, and this sounds so cliche, but it's so true. There is no other person like you in that room. So what is it that you are going to bring to this particular part? I had an audition for a play that was supposed to be coming out this summer, but of course, COVID messed that up. I remember when I walked into that audition, it was very like what you see on the TV, like people warming up, like, I was like, oh Lord, this is about to be like the most extra thing ever. Oh my, I was like people were like prepping, like, oh my God, how does my hair look? I was like, yo, y'all are tripping right now. And like, in my mind, I was like, Jody, you got this, like, just be yourself. Like, you don't got to go through like all this extra stuff. Like, I'm hearing people, like, they were encouraging each other, but it was very just dramatic and big and
a whole lot of pressure.
Yeah. And you know, we auditioned like 2 or 3 people at a time. So, you know, when I was auditioning, there were 2 other people that were coming in the room with me that were also competing against me. But I just kept telling myself that I'm going to bring something to this character that none of these other women is going to bring to the character. Again, not being cocky, but it's just, I'm putting my spin on this character, and the character is completely not me. It was like a tomboy lesbian. And I got the part because I just put my own spin on it. I'm not a tomboy, neither am I a lesbian, but just tapping into the character in a way that only I can, and drawing from it. So being you, I think being your authentic self is so important, period, point blank. Whether you're a creative, whether you're an artist, whether you are a nurse, being your authentic self is what's going to carry you through.
Okay. So embracing your individuality. You did mention depression. I just wanted to get kind of an insight on how you dealt with it. I know that having your faith and I'm sure support from your loved ones helped you through. Can you kind of give us like a little bit of more detail as to how you dealt with your depression, how you got out of it? Because it can be really tough.
So I will say that while I was still married, we were in therapy. So we would go to therapy together, but then we also had like separate therapy sessions. So I definitely pulled from the things that I was working on in therapy. I would say that definitely helped me afterwards. But yes, a big portion of it was me just spending time by myself, even though I was depressed, but spending time by myself, really reevaluating a lot of things. A lot of that did come from me spending time with God and talking with him, and getting some clarity. Girls were really there for me. You know, my mom was a huge support. Moving down here to be closer to her was definitely helpful. And it was crazy because me and my mom were like rocky, you know, we had gone through a lot of rocky things. And I feel like through the divorce, it helped, sounds crazy, but it helped to bring us closer, you know, because it's nothing like a mother's love, you know. So
Don't make me emotional.
I know. I know.
Don't do that. I'm about to, because like my mom is like everything. And I can only imagine what you went through. And I swear, Jody, speak on it because I've been through some shit. Oh my God, you're crying. I'm seriously getting emotional because I feel like we go through really, really tough times. And it's like moms are like superheroes. They don't leave our side. You think that, because me and my mom used to bicker for everything, a battle. But I've been through some things in my life, and my mom has never left my side.
Yep.
And that is unconditional love. Girl, stop. It's you said that and it hit like a good nerve.
I didn't even know that was gonna happen just now. So yeah, but so having that support really helped pull me through. I felt like this is a period of growth. Like it's not over. It's like as I was going through that and feeling sorry for myself, I don't know, something just clicked like, no, girl, like it's not over. Like this is just the beginning of some new thing that's about to happen in your life. I didn't know what it was going to be, like what it was, but it's all like revealing itself now. Years later, it's like, I'm like, oh, that's why I had to experience that, because now I'm in this situation, I understand how to navigate it, or I can like stay away from a certain situation because I've learned my lesson. So taking the time, it's okay to not be okay, right? I tell people that all the time, like you not feeling all right, it's cool. You don't have to be the superhero all the time. You don't have to be the strong friend all the time. Like sometimes you need to just be fragile. You need to be broken. But you also need to understand what it is that your higher power, if you have one, is trying to teach you in that. What it is that you're learning, what it is, you know, how are you growing? How are you watering yourself or allowing yourself to be watered, you know? And right now I feel like I'm going through this process of being open to being loved again by a man, you know, or trusting a man really the way that I wanted to trust my ex-husband, you know, and not comparing and all these things that I had to just like unlearn, a lot of behaviors that I had to unlearn. So yeah, it's really just about that growth and being open to growing. Like, I feel like at a certain age, you realize like, you don't know everything. Like, it's okay. You do not know everything. It's okay to learn from your mom, learn from your dad, your aunties, your friends, open a book, Like there's lots of information is out there. We have access to Google, we have access to the internet, but constantly learning, constantly evolving, that's my thing. And that's what Stay Ready is about, is that constant learning, constant evolving.
Girl, we getting deep today. How do you think culture influences your artistry, and how do you think your artistry will influence the culture?
That's a great question. So I would say the way culture influences my artistry is, for me, is very important for me to be knowledgeable about those that came before me. So thinking about other Black artists, Black models, Black actors and actresses that are present, but also the ones that came before me, and studying them. So like when I watch any show, I'm not like, yeah, I might have a good storyline. Oh, the actors are cute, blah, 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 blah. But I'm also looking at the artists. So I'm looking at how they're saying the things they do, their mannerisms, when they pause, how they look, like all these things I'm constantly studying. So I think it's important for me to look up to Black people, and then to also be a Black woman that can be looked up to. It scares me sometimes when some of the younger folks, whether it be from church or whatever, are like, oh, I want to be like you. I'm like, girl, I'm sure about that. But like, it's a reality, like once you put yourself out there like that, people are going to look up to you. There's going to be those that don't, like you said, they might not mess with you, but there's going to be a lot of people that do mess with you and will be looking to you to kind of inform their lives. And that sounds crazy and heavy, but it's a reality. Like people have told me, like, I was a musician growing up. People have told me they started playing cello because they saw me playing cello. I'm like, what? Like, like these are different things. So I think, I want to continue to be a role model, and a role model in a way that's positive. I want people to know that it's cool to be yourself. I think a lot of times in high school, I felt embarrassed for, being smart or being a geek. And then it's like, I got to college and like, I'm like, oh, we're all smart geeks, but we're still cool, so.
I mean, Jody, to be real with you, I could only speak on myself. Mm-hmm. In high school, I know it doesn't really matter now, but just so you know, just for the sake of conversation, I just want you to know, and I don't know why I'm getting emotional about this. In high school, it was almost like I looked up to you from a distance. Like it was like a long distance respect.
Wow.
Only because you think that you looked like a geek, or you think that you were like weird or something. Mm-hmm. But I looked at it like someone who embraced her truth, in the sense that you were religious and you loved it. Mm-hmm. You were smart and you loved it. Or that's the perception I got. You were okay being the things that certain people steer away from because it wasn't cool. Mm-hmm. So you carried yourself like a dama. And in Spanish, that's like class, mm-hmm. And it was like you weren't cocky. Okay. I hope I'm not insulting anyone that's religious by any means. Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me tighten this up. But there are some people that have a tendency of looking down on you per their religion. Mm. Like, oh, well, you're not like me, so But yeah. Jody, I have to tell you, you never treated, per my perception in high school, as young as we were, you never treated anybody like they were less because they weren't similar to you. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that you say that you felt some kind of way, because I don't think I'm the only one that looked at you like that. We looked at you from a distance like, yo, don't mess with her, bro. That's Jody. And it wasn't even like people were afraid. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just there was a level of respect, like a teenager version. You know what I mean? Like, don't touch that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I just wanted you to know, like, even me, and that's why when you asked me to plan your wedding, I was humbled because I'm like, really, me? Like, I'm Sona like her. She probably wants someone who's super put together and pristine and like, And what I've always admired about you was your love of people, regardless, your love of people without condition. Mm-hmm. People did not have to be like you to be loved by you. Mm-hmm. So I want you to know that. I know you felt some kind of way in high school, and I know it may not matter now, but just so you know, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one, looked at you like, I never looked at you like, yeah, she's religious. It was more like, nah, that's Jody, man. Because you were cool. It was easy as shit. There's people we couldn't approach because they were just like way too like, oh, you know. But you love God, but you love His people too. So just so you know.
Oh, thank you.
You know, of course. But let's get into your projects.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Stay Ready, what we got going on, what you got planned, what's coming up. And I seen you got t-shirts, cell phones, you got a clothing line. What's up? What we doing with Stay Ready? Tell me.
Yeah, so Stay Ready overall is a movement. And as I explained before, the movement is about encouraging people to be their best selves and whatever it is that I do. It arose out of my love for creative, artistry, being a model and an actress. And just feeling like there's other people out there, like when you're on this grind, because being a model and an actress is a grind. People think it's like all glamour, like heck no, it's a grind. Especially people who do it full time, going from gig to gig and job to job to try to make ends meet. That's difficult. But really just, I wanted to encourage people. And I feel like I have that gift of being able to encourage people and motivate people. So it was like, my friends were like, you need to make this a thing. Like my girl was like, I love this Stay Ready thing that you're doing. Pretty much like when I was putting up my different posts, whether it be about acting or modeling, I would always hashtag Stay Ready. And she was like, yo, this is a thing. Like even my coworkers, like certain things would happen at work. They'd be like, Stay Ready. I'd be like, oh, look at you catching on to it. So, I was like, well, let me make this thing official. And, went through, did the whole business thing. And I did launch a clothing line.
Yes, girl!
So, yeah, there's t-shirts.
For the people that are listening to the podcast and not watching, Jody got a bomb-ass t-shirt on, and I want one. It's fire. It's great. It's like, your Heather Gray with the logo, Stay Ready, and an empower ass movement sign on it. I love it. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
So yeah, we have t-shirts, mugs, notebooks.
Okay. And what do you hope for the future? What would you like your movement to accomplish in the long run?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hoping that my brand will be able to collaborate with other brands that have a similar mission, but like different ways of doing it. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, Stay Ready is going to be who I am as a person. I love community. I love collaborating with other people. So I would like my brand to be like that as well. So just a bunch of collaborations in different avenues, different ways, pretty much empowering our communities. It's not just focused on empowering communities of color, but like right now I feel like we need that. So like I'm going where the need is. Like our communities need to be uplifted. Our communities need to know that our voices matter, and that we are able to do whatever it is we said we need to do. We can do it.
I love that. Any advice for any fellow starving artists, whether they're pursuing anything similar to your artistry or just any artist, period? Any words of encouragement or advice?
Yeah, I get this question every now and then. And I always tell people, just start. Too often, especially as an artist, you feel like, oh, I don't have a headshot, or I don't have an acting resume, or I've never done this before. Just start. Go to that audition. Even if you don't think you're going to get the part, go so that you can get the experience of going to an audition. Figure out how you can get some headshots done for free in exchange for something else. Like, what kind of skills do you have that you could offer a photographer to get your headshot? Like, just do it. Don't use that I'm not ready as an excuse. That is not an excuse. It's not acceptable anymore. There's no such thing as not being ready. Stay ready.
Woo! With that being said, I'm gonna end it right there. Not being ready is not an excuse, because you're never really prepared for anything. But if you get your heart ready, if you get your mind straight, then you kind of stay ready. Jody said it perfectly, and I'm gonna end it right there. All right, so Jody, thank you so much for joining me today. I got way more than I expected from this interview. I hope that you can actually come to the show in person one day and we could talk a little bit more. I literally cannot wait to see where I'm gonna see you next. What show? You know, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm so proud of you, Jody. And one of the things that I'm most proud of you is your strength.
Thank you.
Because at young age, to go through all those things and still see your way out and keep your faith and not question God is really is strength. It's an empowerment itself. And I'm so proud of you, boo. That's where I'm gonna end it, y'all. My darlings queridos, thank you, Jody. Give them your info, your Instagram, your contact. What up? Talk to them.
Oh, yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Stay Ready Movement. That's both on Instagram and Facebook. My website, www.stayreadymovement.com, if you want to buy some gear.
I'm gonna buy some gear.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you something.
And I'm gonna promote. Listen, I'm gonna wear the shit out of it. Don't play with me, Jody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Shout out to Jody. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Thank you to my lovely guest co-host Evie for coming today.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, make sure
y'all need to really listen.
Listen in, honey.
You know what I mean?
Óyeme. Oye, estamos hablando, te estamos tirando. Coge lápiz.
But you gotta listen.
Listen.
Don't hear it.
Listen. Make sure you follow my homegirl at Candid Creations _ on Instagram. Please, guys, make sure to subscribe and follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Late Night with Linda Rosa. I would love to hear from you guys. Please send me your comments, questions, anything, whether you agree with the topic or not, you have other tips or not, and you have something to say about it, let me know. I want to hear from you. Send me a message, either Instagram, or you can email us at latenightwithlindarosa@gmail.com. Also, the link to everywhere, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, I'm on it. Just go to the link in our bio at Late Night with Linda Rosa on Instagram, and it'll take you directly there, including YouTube. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. I adore every single one of you. I hope you guys all have an amazing day and that tomorrow is even better. And I'll see you at sunset. Bye.